Hello, my name is Hayden Muntz, and today I'm going to be doing a presentation over our medical terminology class and what we have learned in the past 5 weeks. It doesn't take much medical background to recognize the importance of medical terminology and all that it can affect when working in the medical field. From relationships with other medical staff to relations with patients, terminology plays a big role in how we conduct our practice and care. Over the past 5 weeks, we have learned not only the importance of individual specific terms, but also their importance in application as well. The division of the class of each week looked like this. Week 1 was common mistakes. Week 2 was what we learned about ourselves. Week 3, our experience with the scenario we were given. Week 4 was our insights we have gained from our interview. And Week 5 was our plan for making ourselves an asset in your organization, which is included in this presentation. Errors and mistakes are not blocked from the medical field, and within Week 1, we got to explore the different common ones that are made. Even in my own personal and limited experience in the medical field, I have witnessed numerous mistakes, nothing serious or life-threatening, but nonetheless, they were mistakes and had to be dealt with. Specifically relating to healthcare terminology, I have learned that there are many mistakes that can happen because of terms, to include prescription errors and look-alike and sound-alike terms. In the article, A Prospective Study of Medication Errors, the authors explain that these errors can arise from brand names and generic names, as well as order communication, labeling, packaging, dispensing, distribution, administration, and use. There is a lot that goes into practice and procedures within the medical field, and Week 1 showed us that terminology is a big part of it, either by making the mistakes or limiting them and keeping them from occurring. In Week 2, we dove into reflection of ourselves and contemplated our strengths and weaknesses. More so, we looked at our character and how it would apply at this very moment in healthcare or leadership positions. Over the course of my educational career, I have taken many turns and changes that I would have never anticipated. But now I know, just like it says in Proverbs 3:5-6, it is all part of God's plan, and only He knows what the future holds for me and what He has in store for my life and career. Throughout this week, I have learned more about the type of leader that I want to be. One that would be engaged and transparent, one that would be able to communicate effectively and efficiently with the team and patients. In the article Exploring the Characteristics of Capable Healthcare Professionals, Rowe explains that clinical reasoning comes from conscious thought, and when rational thinking is deliberate. This shows the ability to work within complex, dynamic, and non-linear environments. These characteristics describe the type of leader that I want to be. In Week 3, this was an interesting week for me because it challenged my ethical and moral solutions to problems that may arise in the field. Even though it was a specific scenario with a specific issue, it made clear the type of weight that our moral and ethical line can have in any given situation. I chose to approach the scenario from multiple different angles since my perspective is heavily dependent on different factors. From this scenario, I would have not have said anything because of a few reasons. Because there was no investigation and everything returned to normal, it must not have been serious enough to strike any concern of any kind, to which I would say would be impractical and non-constructive to create issues when none exist. Another reason would be because it was a first-time offense. The scenario states that I have been a nurse for many years, and it is likely that this was a one-time accident. I would have said something immediately, depending on the relationship I have with the administration and the coworker. Also, if there was any sort of repercussion against my relief that came in, or if there was in fact an investigation, whether formal or informal, or issues that arose because of it. Even though the scenario presented a difficult problem with a good amount of detail, it is impossible to say what I would have done exactly given the circumstances. At any rate, it is important to always be ready to make tough decisions and realize that working in the medical field will put a strain on anyone's moral and ethical code. In week 4, we did our interview, and I chose to do my interview with one of my administrators from work, one that I look up to very much and love his leadership style and charisma. His name is Jody Matez, and I have had many talks with him before, and I am always learning different things from him, but I learned quite a bit about career choice and leadership from this specific interview than I have before. As I have made many changes and decisions throughout my educational career, he was there to witness and talk with me about those choices, and one insight that I will take away from this interview is his response to how he remains competent, effective, and keep from doing harm. His reply consisted of investing in himself as well as his team. We are all people, and if we put good work and things into ourselves and our team, we will get good work out. He said that he takes care of himself and his morals and values first to produce effective work and keep from doing harm. It can be difficult to remain aware that not only are we accountable to our peers or bosses, we are also accountable to the people below us that are counting on us and reporting to us. This is what I have experienced under his leadership and is what I hope to exhibit and show as I lead others. Going forward, as I progress in my career and education, I think the best way for me to be an asset in anything I do is by doing the absolute best that I can do at my job and sticking to my morals and values when it comes to my working relationships and my performance. By remaining accountable, transparent, selfless, and God-honoring, I will become the leader that God intends and remain effective not only in the workplace but in my faith. I also believe that an overlooked characteristic of an effective individual in the workplace is their ability and willingness to learn. Gordon T. Smith, author of Courage and Calling, states that one of the most valuable means of fostering effectiveness within organizations is by being a person who can learn with others. When we learn together, our propensity to compete with or blame one another for problems is torn down. We grow in our capacity to adapt to and defend one another in the midst of change. As I progress into different positions and leading different people and teams, I hope to never lose the ability to learn with everyone. Change will always be at our doorstep, and the best way to remain effective is by doing it together as a team. And it is important that I am able to foster that in the workplace and grow continuously. Thank you to all that have listened, and I hope that this presentation showed you some insight as well on your own lives and the importance of not just terminology but our application and choices that we make in the medical field. We will face many challenges and changes throughout our lives, and how we answer those can have a lasting impact on our moral and physical lives. Thank you.